Are you looking to grow and scale your boutique $5 to $10 million in sales? I helped my client go from $360,000 a year to over $10 million a year in the span of 4 years. I'm going to tell you how we did it. Stay here with me. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for being here. My goal is to have as many of you guys be my subscribers. I'm going to ask you right now, will you please like this video and subscribe to my channel? It means so much to me. If we haven't met yet, it's our first time meeting. Hi, I'm Emily Benson. I'm a retail inventory strategist, coach, former boutique owner, and I've helped over 15,000 people start, grow, and scale their boutique businesses over the past 10 years. I've written 2 best-selling books, including this one called The Ultimate Boutique Handbook. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of this book, which is crazy to me. I'm not new around here. You might just be meeting me, but I've been doing this basically half my life at this point. So I'm excited to tell you some more client stories, some more case studies of clients I've worked with over the years and what we've done to strategically grow and scale their business. It's a big time story, so let me just get right into it. I had a woman reach out to me and she said, Emily, I've been listening to your podcast. I've done everything you said, and I just hit a $40,000 month. I've been open for about a year and a half, and I just don't know what else to do. I want to grow, but I feel I've kind of done everything you said, and now I want to know what's next. So will you help me? When I saw her brand, I was like, yes, let's go. I cannot wait to help you. First and foremost, this client was someone who's super creative, someone who is willing to take risks, and she had a really particular point of view on fashion. I knew that those things were a combination for success. She just needed some professional retail industry guidance. That's what I provided her. I worked with this client one-on-one for about 5 years. We grew her business from that first year. She came to me in May. Her goal that year was to make $350,000. That first year she came to me in May. We were actually able to double that. She did about $750,000 that year in sales. And then every year thereafter, we just multiplied. So the next year we hit 1.6 million. The next year she jumped crazy. She went to 4.2 million, and then so on and so forth until she hit $10 million in a year, which is insane, which meant that she did have some like $1 million days baked in there at a certain point. And like, I remember at the beginning, we were so excited when it was like biggest day was like a $5,000-$6,000 day. It was like, oh my God, this is huge. Let me tell you how we started to build that. She had been buying for her store at typical trade shows. She'd been going to Magic. She'd been shopping on Fashion Go. And really what I noticed in her business is that there were certain categories that had more potential. I saw that she was selling out of things. And if you think that selling out is good, you haven't been around me long enough. Selling out is so bad. You're missing out on sales. She was launching new styles every day, like 1 style a day. But I said, what if we did 1 big launch a week, but it was very focused on jewelry? Why jewelry? 1, like I said, she was selling out of it. 2 was because jewelry is a non-sized item. So you can go and you can buy like 6 pieces, 10 pieces, 15 pieces of something, and you can sell it to anyone. There's no small, medium, or large. There's no worries about colors or textures or fit. Jewelry kind of always fits. And it's a really easy buy online. We knew jewelry was non-sized. We knew it was selling out, and we knew it was a really easy price point. I'm going to spend $40. I'm going to have an experience with this brand, and then I'll come back and buy more. We know that once someone has bought something from you, they're more likely to buy something else from you. By getting them in at a purchase that felt easy, it's a small item. I could give it to a friend, and it's like $30-$40. We started doing these Friday launches. They grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And now it's a mix of clothes and everything. But we started with jewelry. And I think it's important to note that because it was not a big risk. Okay. I think when you're starting a boutique or you're trying to grow or scale it, you feel like you have to take these big inventory risks. And really, you don't. You don't. You can take risks in areas where you could be safer. Jewelry was a safe place to take a risk. And so we did. One big result was that she sold a ton of jewelry and it got new people into her brand. The other result was that people started focusing on Friday. They started thinking, oh, Friday's her launch day. Oh, Friday's her launch day. So after a couple months of doing this, what we actually did is we just started saying she's going to launch a whole collection on Friday. That's going to be her launch day. It created an event. This was the second thing that we really did is we created a launch day as an event. We're sitting here many, many years later, and it's interesting because a lot of people now have done this thing. We have new arrivals every Thursday. But I will say, we were one of the first people to do it and say, okay, every Friday is going to be this launch day. And it just created such an event. And that gave so much motivation to both parties, like both her and her customers, right? For her, it gave her a way to focus her schedule. So she knew she would shoot every Tuesday. She knew then she could edit and upload the styles. She could get everyone ready. And then Friday, boom, everything's on her website. She releases it, posts it on Instagram. It sold Friday and Saturday, kind of Sunday too, but it gave her the focus and it gave her a really easy schedule to work with. Now, I'm not going to say it was easy because she was launching every week. So it did become quite a bit of work, but it gave her focus. I find a lot of people are trying to launch every day. It's a lot to put together a launch. You're photographing styles. Well, let's back up. You're unpacking the styles, you're steaming the styles, you're counting the styles, modeling them, photographing them. Once you get the photos, you're color correcting, you're uploading the description. Like all this stuff is so much work. Hopefully at a certain point, you have a team kind of helping support in doing this, right? But when you're first starting out, it might just be you. So having one launch day gives you a way to reverse engineer your schedule so that you can be ready for that big launch. So the craziest part is that on Shopify, what we would see, it was like, you see this like big bump every Friday. It was wild, but the focus really helped give structure to the business. It also gave something to look forward to for a customer. So customers would be waiting on Thursday night for the sneak preview. They'd be excited to show up Friday at 10 a.m. and shop the collection. They'd have things in their cart, like ready to check out, right? It gave customers a focus to say, okay, I know I'm going to get the best of the best if I show up on time. Created this event, this launch event every single week to like rally around. We also, frankly, put it on a Friday because that's when people get paid. We knew people would have fresh money in their bank account and they'd be able to purchase something. Thursdays and Fridays are where most people in the US get paid. That was a no-brainer. Secrets to a $10 million brand. Let's just recap really quick so I can remember. I talked about the launch days. I talked about the jewelry. And then I'm going to talk about the t-shirts. Okay. So as she started to grow, one of the things that became really important to her was designing her own clothes. Now, what we know about designing your own clothes and manufacturing your own stuff is it takes quite a bit of quantity. I will say that there are places you can get lower quantities, but generally, a manufacturer wants you to order between 100 and like 150 pieces of a style to have it be your own. That's a lot of pieces for one style, one colorway. That's hard to get to, right? However, there's a workaround, and it's t-shirts. What we first started to do with her brand and have her design her own things is t-shirts. We would see a t-shirt print work really well in one colorway. If it worked really well in one colorway, I'd always say, okay, can we do another colorway? Can we do it in a sweatshirt? Can we do it in puffy print versus not puffy print? Like, how much can we take one t-shirt and expand that even more? That looks like taking a black and white t-shirt and making it pink and purple sweatshirt and maybe oversized, but playing with this idea. On each t-shirt was a saying or a motto or something that was really expressive. It told the story of her brand. It told the story of her customer. Her customer wanted to wear these sayings on their body. It was like empowering for them. What we started to do is say, okay, we know this is working, just like the jewelry. We know it's working. Let's expand it. Let's keep going. These branded t-shirts, sweatshirts, again, like jewelry, they were an easy price point. They were an easy fit. Actually, one of the things she did that was cool is because they were oversized, she'd only have like 2 sizes and they'd be like the 2 biggest sizes. It made it really easy for inventory. So there's ways to work with your inventory and expanding it in ways that you can sell more of the same to your customer, but it's not the exact same. Because we know that when you sell to a person, they're more likely to buy from you. And we know if they're buying something they love, they want to come back and buy something similar. I always call it a sister cousin effect. It's like they love that style and they want something kind of like that style, but also different, Her t-shirt, sweatshirt business was huge. It was one of the biggest factors in propping up her business, giving her great margin, giving her lots of cash flow, giving her an easy way to build new customers in so that then she could go on and make more complicated pieces, make more truly like design actual clothing, do her own custom prints, do her own custom design, like it's all custom. It gave her that runway to do that. We started small. We weren't like, oh, we're going to make, a knit sweater and we're going to have to buy 150 of it. Like a sweater is like a $98 piece. T-shirts ran, I think at one point it was like $36 to $48. And then sweatshirts were like 50 something dollars. But again, it's like under that $75 mark, you're able to grab a customer that just like wants a piece of your brand. If you follow me for a long time, I have this thing called the Gucci belt principle. And the idea is that like for the person that can't afford a Gucci bag, they can buy the Gucci belt. Right? We saw that phenomenon for like the past 5 years, but you can go and buy that $400 belt instead of buying the $2,500 bag. And you still got the brand, you still got the name. That's what the t-shirts did for her. That's what the jewelry first started to do, then the t-shirts and the sweatshirts. And now it's expanded into something else, but that's what got her there, right? The craziest part about all of this is that she never added men's. She never added kids. She never added home. She never added other categories. All that we did was take these niche pieces of her women's clothing and accessory business. We took the things that work best and we exploited them. We did more of it and we did more of it. And we found little ways to exploit more and more and more to the point that it grew her business to millions of dollars a month. That's the thing. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Do you have to give yourself time to grow and scale? Yes. Do you have to give yourself room for mistakes and errors and shipping problems and printing problems? And yes, like this was not a smooth sail. I'm wrapping up 5 years here in like 5 minutes, but this was not something that happened overnight. And I think that for so many of you that are in that stage of your boutique where you're like, I feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm making good money, but maybe there's not money in your bank account, or you feel like you're making good money, but like you still have a ton of inventory sitting around. There are ways to grow and scale your business where you can be really efficient with inventory, really careful with your money, and be able to pay yourself. And one of the years that we worked together, I distinctly remember her emailing me at the end of the year saying, I made too much profit this year. We have to spend more money next year. I have to pay so much money in taxes. And it was crazy. It was just, we didn't plan for it. Like, I'm not a financial advisor. We just made too much money. And again, like this sounds so silly to be saying on a video, but boutiques, clothing, this is one of the most profitable businesses you can get into. And if you're not making a profit, if you're not moving through inventory, you're having trouble growing and scaling, please reach out. Please keep watching my videos. Please subscribe, like this video, stay with me because I'm going to tell you more case studies over the course of time. This is one of my biggest and best case studies and one of my like most favorite beloved clients. I'm so proud of her and I'm so proud I got to be there along the journey. I know that it was the strategy that we implemented together that really helped her grow that. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so happy when I get to help a woman become financially free and be able to retire her husband, be able to buy a house, be able to travel. That is my goal for so many of you in boutique land. We call that like our boutique land superstar. It's that person where their business is humming along. They're making a great profit. They're buying the right stuff. They're doing really well and they get to kind of relax. That could be you. I want you to know that that's available to you. That's possible. I have many clients that are in that situation. I would hope that you could get there too. So thanks so much for listening to my story. As always, here's to making lots of friends and making lots of money. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay.